Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Jessie. This is an immersive English learning channel. Let's practice IELTS speaking English with me. Let's go. So my video consists of two parts. My video gonna talk about part 2 and part 3 of IELTS exam. In part 2, I'm gonna give you an example. You can also find the script underneath. And for part 3, we also know that part 3 determines whether we can get a higher score or not for IELTS speaking exam. Although the examiner only gives us no more than 5 minutes to answer all the questions, I'm gonna give you 2 examples for part 3 in my video, and I try to extend my answer as much as I can so as to give you more thoughts about how to answer part 3. Okay, let's go. Well, when we are talking about something that I am so proud of, off the top of my head is definitely the fact that I passed all the papers of a certified public accountant exam and got the certificate in time. So in order to pass the exam, I had to do 2 major things. Well, firstly, I had to pass all the 4 papers of a certified public accountant exam in 1.5 years. I devoted all my energy and my time in this exam. I remember vividly that I did not have any leisure times at all. During that period, I remember that in every evening, weekends, and public holiday, I was either in the study room or in library. My whole life was occupied with all kinds of tutorial courses, round after round of quiz and model tests, and all kinds of new pieces of knowledge and theories. And secondly, I have to accumulate sufficient and relevant working experiences as well. I have to juggle between my work and exam revision. So, in our industry, it is inevitable that we had to work overtime. That's my work somehow occupying my time, to prepare for this exam. Thus, I had to stay up late or even pull all-nighter, to just prepare the exam. I feel exhausted and burned out during that period. If you ask me how difficult the exam is, I had to say that it is one of the most difficult exams in the world. I remember that only 20% of candidates who enroll in this exam could hang in there and pass all the papers and got a certificate. And this is a quite strenuous exam, and sufficient study hours is definitely required. So many candidates give up halfway or fail to pass all the papers in a limited time. Another reason the exam is quite difficult because the candidates have to master comprehensive knowledge in a short period of time, including financing, accounting, taxation, auditing methodology, corporate finance, corporate law, etc. And third reason why this exam is quite difficult because it is a computer-based exam. So the most tricky part is that usually one paper will consist of 4 to 5 sections. For candidates during the exam, you had to complete and submit one section, and the computer will generate the next section for you. So usually the computer has quite powerful algorithm. They would customize test paper based on your performance in the previous submitted sections. So if you make some mistake, it's more likely that the computer will generate similar types of questions to test you. So I was quite nervous during the exam. I was so afraid of making any mistakes at all. So I really remember that I came across some really difficult situation that all of the questions were quite difficult to me, and I was at my wit's end to answer them. So somehow I still have to stay strong and also give my best shot to answer all the questions. Definitely, I feel so proud that I overcome all those obstacles and difficulties and passed the exam. Somehow I feel so happy because somehow I show some good traits in preparing for this exam. I was quite diligent, hardworking, perseverant, and I show my willpower and fortitude to pass the exam. I still remember all those days that I barely have any recreational activities at all. Every time my friends ask me to hang out with them, I always say no to them. I still remember all those days that I stay up late and in the evening I still shed my tears and focusing on those quizzes and model tests. Ultimately, it all paid off and I smoothly gained qualification. That's all. Thank you. Well, on one hand, if we can achieve the work goals, that means that we work pretty hard. We have a great performance in our work, and boss and my colleagues recognize us, and I can get promoted. I can increase my salaries, I can increase my incomes, I can get promoted, and this just helped me to improve my living standards. I have more disposable income. I have a better quality of life. This is perfect. On the other hand, Working goal is not our life goal. If we care too much about work, if we devote all my energy and my power and my time into work, somehow if we care too much about our work performance and our boss expectation, the employers, my boss, my colleagues will exploit that. They would take advantage of us to some extent. For example, if we care too much about work, our boss would expect us, to work overtime. They would push us to work for longer hours, to work harder, or we just devote all of our energy and time into my work so as to get a pretty high performance in appraisal. Somehow we had to just make our deliverables to the client more perfect so as to meet the boss expectation. Is it worth that? We only have limited time in our life. If we assign most of our times into my work, we don't have much time to share with our family members, our kids, our parents, our loved ones. Definitely don't have any recreational time, to make us relaxed. We don't even have the mood or time, to let the hell down. Well, meanwhile, some people have the illusion that all the resources, the status, and recognitions you gain from the working platform is your own capacity, is the way to recognize yourself. All those reputations, recognition, the status gained from your working place is just a mirage. For example, I have seen all those cases that in China, once you hit your 35 years old, many people face the fact that you will be laid off by your company. Even you have a pretty high position in the company, once you get laid off, you are unemployed. No matter how much contribution you made to your company, no matter what achievement you had made, in the past, all the reputation will vanish instantaneously when you leave the specific working platform. No matter you are the CEO or CFO in a really big internet company, once you get laid off, you are nothing but unemployed with some chronic disease and alienated relationships with your family members somehow. So we had to really consider about what is more important, your working goal or your life goal. There is some old saying goes, we are not live for work, we are work for life. So there are more important things in our life: our healthy body, the beautiful sceneries we had experienced in our life, the intimate relationships with our family members, the healthy relationship between us and our kids. That is the most important things in our life. Thus we had to really consider about all those facts in our life and to decide what is our life goal. So somehow work is just a way for us, to make a living, to bring home the bread and butter. Work is not the whole life. We should never ever let the working goals to occupy our life goal. We have to really consider about what is our life goal. And I definitely believe that somehow if you could be able, to focus on pursuing your life goal, you are more likely to feel happy and content with your life. That's all. Thank you. Before answering this question, I have to define what is material reward and what is other reward in our work. So material rewards is definitely including your salary, your bonus, something like that. And other rewards would include something like praise from your boss, the oral or written recognition from your boss, getting a promotion without increase the salary, give you more annual leave, allow you, to take a break from your work, something like that. Well, definitely I believe that material rewards is definitely more important than other type of rewards in the working place. We come to work is not to make friends. We come to work is definitely to make a living, to earn more money. If the company cannot give employees the material rewards, you cannot stimulate them to work harder, definitely. The material rewards is the way more effective way, to stimulate people's desire to work harder, improving their working efficiency and working quantity. For example, for those salesmen, if you work harder, you have more output, your performance is strongly linked with lucrative incentives. Definitely those salesmen are more likely to work harder to sell their products to clients. They would devote more time and energy, to do their work. In comparison, if the company only give those salesmen some oral or written recognition, definitely those salesmen will not work hard. Somehow they will even leave the company and to work in other company that give them more material rewards. And secondly, if the company would be able, to give the employees more material rewards, they would keep the brain drain at bay. So that's like what I mentioned earlier, that we are working in a company not to just experience our life, not to just make friends, not to have fun. We are working in a company because we want to make more money. Thus, there are some public companies would come up with employee stock ownership plan. They will link the employee's performance with the company's stock. So if the employees would work harder, devote more of their time and energy into work, so as to just give the company more outcome, increase the company's profit, the company stock price increase, employees would make more money. So that's the company would be a virtuous circle, and employees are more likely to have the ownership and a sense of belonging, and this sense of belonging allows the employees to work harder. Once they have a sense of identity in this company, they are more likely, to show their ownership spirit and treating the company like their own business, and to just exercise their potential and make great contribution to the company, and also bring more benefits to the company. Conversely, if the company are not willing, to give too much material rewards, the company only give the employees, some oral praise or some recognition, definitely the employees will not be stimulated to work that hard. Actually, if you only give the employees some other type of rewards other than the material rewards, employers only think that the company only paint a rosy picture, only paint a pie in the sky. They will not work for a company for a long time. So in conclusion, I think that material incentive is definitely more important than the other type of rewards, because it is a more efficient way for a company, to motivate employees, to mobilize their morale to work harder, and also it can help them, to keep those talents, to keep the brain drain at bay. So that's all. Thank you. Well, this is the end of my video. So if you like my video, please thumb up. If you have any questions or comments, you are really welcome to leave a message. If you want to know more about IELTS speaking exam, please follow me and ring the bell. You will not miss my updates. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Bye.